When it comes to buying the right products, there's a lot to look out for. That's why today, we've picked and reviewed the 5 best models for you. And we've ranked them by many different factors, such as price, quality, durability, performance, and more. You can see their prices and find out more information by using the links in the description down below. Let's not waste any more time and get started with the video. Next up, we have a model which gives you the best value for your money.
Number 5. Linksys EA6350. If you have a small home and run a modest network consisting of a handful of wired and wireless clients, you probably don't need to spend hundreds of dollars for a router with the latest Wi-Fi technologies. The Linksys EA6350 AC1200 Plus dual-band smart Wi-Fi wireless router gets you lightning-fast 5 GHz throughput, as well as a nice assortment of management settings and I/O ports. This dual-band 802.11 AC router is powered by a single-core 800 MHz CPU. It can achieve theoretical throughput speeds of up to 300 Mbps on the 2.4 GHz band and up to 867 Mbps on the 5 GHz band. The EA6350 supports beamforming, which sends wireless signals directly to each client rather than over a broad spectrum, but not multi-user, multi-input, multi-output MIMO data streaming. The back of the router holds 4 gigabit LAN ports, a WAN port, a single USB 3.0 port, a WPS button, and a reset button. The Smart Wi-Fi web console opens to a home screen that has a list of smart Wi-Fi tools and router settings on the right. The device list page displays all connected devices and their current status, and the guest access page is where you go to enable guest networking and set up passwords. Oddly, guest networking is only available for 2.4 GHz clients. With the Linksys Smart Wi-Fi web console, installing and configuring the EA6350 is quick and easy. Once the router is plugged in and connected to the internet and your host PC, simply open a browser and type linksysmartwifi.com in the address bar. This launches the setup wizard, which walks you through the basic internet and wireless settings. The Linksys EA6350 AC1200 Plus dual-band smart Wi-Fi wireless router is an excellent choice if you don't require an advanced router. Ideal for small homes and apartments, it delivered very fast 5 GHz throughput in our tests, and while its 2.4 GHz performance didn't set any records, it was more than adequate for a router in this price range. As with most Linksys routers, the EA6350 is very easy to install and manage, thanks to the Linksys Smart Wi-Fi web console and mobile app.
This next model has the best performance on the list, and it's worth checking out.
Number 4. TP-Link Archer A9. TP-Link Archer A9 is TP-Link's latest mid-range wireless router with updated hardware for better performance and coverage. The A9 also introduced beamforming and MIMO features. Both the Archer A7 and C7 lack this. The Wi-Fi ability has been updated to a slightly faster AC1900 as well. This will result in an improved Wi-Fi performance on the Archer A9 with better Wi-Fi speed and coverage than the Archer A7. TP-Link Archer A9 looks exactly the same as the Archer A7, apart from the AC1900 wording. The design is still really practical with individual LAN port status indicators, which many brands stopped doing to save cost. It has 3 non-removable external antennae and an additional 4th antenna inside of the 2.4 GHz band. On the back we found 4 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports and a single USB port for file sharing and printer sharing. TP-Link Archer A9 is very easy to set up with a built-in setup wizard. We connected this router to the Unify modem and inserted the PPPoE username and password obtained from TM. Remember to select the Unify profile, if not your internet won't work. The gloss finish fingerprints and smudges easily, so I'd rather have seen a matte finish, but the A9 has an intelligent design otherwise. The venting recesses look purposeful and they enhance A9's aesthetic instead of taking away from the design. The Archer A9 is a dual-band AC1900 router, so speeds max out at 1300 Mbps over the 5 GHz band and 600 Mbps over the 2.4 GHz band. Setting up the networks was fast and easy, and I had my 5 GHz and my 2.4 GHz network set up within 5 minutes using the companion app. The A9 also boasts Smart Connect and Airtime Fairness. This means the router can automatically switch connected devices between the bands to promote the most efficient pathway, and it can also prevent older and slower devices from hogging the network and slowing down traffic to other devices. The TP-Link Archer A9 is an ideal router for a household with an average number of devices, but homes full of gamers or home office workers may want something a little more robust.
This next model is the best option for gaming, and I think that this would be a great fit for any type of game.
Number 3. Asus RT-AC68U. The RT-AC68U has the same sharp design as the RT-AC66U, with a gold Asus logo and snazzy decorative diamond pattern on the chassis. Its dimensions are those of Asus's typical compact router form factor. It measures 6 by 8 by 6.3 inches and weighs 1.4 pounds. One design change I don't care for is the addition of a non-removable stand. The RT-AC66U shipped with a detachable stand. The new router is supposed to operate better in a vertical position, but I'd still prefer being able to choose whether to use it or not. Across the front there are 10 tiny LEDs displaying status for the WAN and LAN ports, power, the wireless bands and USB device connections. When a connection is active and stable, the LEDs shine a solid blue. The rear panel has 4 gigabit LAN ports and a WAN port, one USB 2.0 port and a USB 3.0 port. The USB ports support not only USB external drives, but also printers and 3G or 4G mobile broadband devices that can be used for connection failover. To set up the router, all you have to do is follow the included Quick Start guide. The router setup page automatically opens after you connect your computer to the router's LAN port and launch a web browser. The Quick Internet Setup Wizard, QIS, walks you through the rest of the setup process, which is pretty routine. Asus is one of the most stylish router management interfaces there is, hands down. This router does have beamforming abilities, letting you concentrate the signal strength in areas where you need it the most, but it does lack MuMimo multi-user, multi-input, multi-output technology, making this a somewhat poor choice if you have tons of different internet-connected devices in your household. It's also super easy to set up more advanced functions such as parental controls or quality of service, QoS. The content blockers are super easy to set up, and we particularly like that you can restrict pages both by content or by time, allowing you to do your best at preventing kids and teens from viewing inappropriate content, or set rules like no internet after bedtime. Overall, the Asus RT-AC68U is a decent router. It's not amazing, but it isn't awful either.
Before we talk about the best model overall, let's look at the runner-up for this list.
Number 2. Netgear Nighthawk R6700. The Netgear Nighthawk R6700 is undoubtedly fast and well worth considering if you're looking for a router with the fastest possible performance in its class without spending too much. The Netgear Nighthawk AC1750 is a dual-band 802.11 AC router promising faster speeds than we've seen so far from triple-stream routers. Technically, the Nighthawk utilizes AC1750 protocol, giving you dual-band wireless speeds of up to 1750 Mbps on both bands to your laptop or gaming PC. The 2.4 GHz frequency band, 450 Mbps, handles non-intensive tasks like internet browsing, while the 5 GHz frequency band, 1300 Mbps, is reserved for more intensive tasks like streaming or gaming. The antenna on the R6700 are adjustable and removable, which is better compared to the AC1750's antenna that are only adjustable but non-replaceable. While the latter keeps the costs low, it becomes expensive in case one of the antenna breaks and needs to be replaced. The Netgear Nighthawk AC1750 delivers excellent storage performance. Tested via the USB 3.0 connection, the router performed well on FAT32 and NTFS formats, better than most routers in the same category. For instance, it returned impressive speeds on NTFS formats, 59.1 MB per second read and 38.5 write, and almost the same scores for FAT32 files, 59.8 read and 36.9 write. Compared, the TP-Link Archer C8 returned almost the same scores on the same set of files, NTFS formats 25.3 MB per second read and 16.8 write, FAT32 37.2 read and 23.9 write. Still, the R6700 beats its closest rivals with little effort. Overall, the Netgear Nighthawk AC1750 is capable of delivering class-leading wireless speeds over 802.11 AC protocol and is a perfect example of the great improvements made over previous generations. It's affordable and the performance range is way better. However, while the 802.11 AC was the go-to tech almost a year ago, it has now matured with fair improvements in performance. That means there are now routers in the market that cost almost the same but offer better features.
Finally, the next model is the best overall. From us, it gets a perfect score in all categories.
Number 1. TP-Link Archer A7. For a bargain basement router, TP-Link's Archer A7 does a surprisingly good job of moving the bits around the house. Looking for one of the best deals in Wi-Fi routers? The TP-Link Archer A7 may not have an impressive range or the customization options of competitors, but it has parental controls, quality of service, a QoS software, and a 2-year warranty. Small and discreet, the TP-Link Archer A7 can be hidden just about anywhere. Not as cool looking as Asus's Blue Cave, the 9.6 by 6.4 by 1.3 inch Archer A7 is however 80% smaller and is less than 1/4 the size of Netgear's Nighthawk XR500 Pro gaming router. Inside, the Archer A7 dual-band router is powered by a Qualcomm Atheros QCA9563 Wi-Fi chip with a 750 MHz processor with 128 MB of RAM. There's 16 MB of flash storage for holding the device's settings and firmware. The dual-band router has a maximum throughput of 450 Mbps for its 2.4 GHz band and 1.3 Gbps for its 5 GHz band, for a total bandwidth of 1.75 Gbps. Instead of a switch to turn off the lights, the Archer A7 can do this via its firmware settings with a night mode, where the lights can be scheduled to automatically turn on and off. Using many of the latest speed-boosting techniques like advanced beamforming and IPTV streaming, the Archer A7 balances price and performance. The Archer A7's top speed of 647.4 Mbps was achieved 5 feet from the client, which blows away the 382.4 Mbps that the Netgear R6220 router was capable of at the same distance. The Archer A7's throughput is between the TP-Link Archer C2300's phenomenal 963.6 Mbps and the Asus Blue Cave's mediocre 439.1 Mbps at the same distance. It may not be the fastest, largest, or most powerful router available, but the TP-Link Archer A7's price tag is on a par with the venerable Netgear R6220 router, making it one of the best bargains of the router world. Buying guide. Firstly, changing wireless standards. The standards for wireless technology have changed quite a bit over the last decade. For instance, most newer laptops, smartphones, and tablets utilize the newer standard, 802.11ac. This means they're capable of faster speeds over Wi-Fi. If your internet package promises speeds in excess of 100 Mbps and you're still using a wireless N router, the limitations of the router's wireless capabilities may become a bottleneck for your network. Secondly, durability. Keep in mind that networking hardware doesn't last forever. Not only do the standards change fairly often, but networking hardware is put through a lot of stress on a daily basis. Your Wi-Fi connection is stretched across your computer, gaming console, smartphone, tablet, and streaming devices. And with more devices being added to the mix, such as smart lights or thermostats, that load is only getting larger, and over time a router's performance can degrade. If you've had the same router for a few years and can find no other explanation for a dip in the reliability of your network, it may be time to consider replacing the router. And thirdly, budget. It's difficult to recommend a super high-end router to an average consumer for at least 2 reasons. First, the pace of the advancement of the technology is very fast. So while a top-of-the-range router may very well future-proof you for the next few years, it's nearly as susceptible to obsolescence as one that costs half as much. Second, networking hardware is moving faster than ISPs, which means mid-tier routers are usually more than enough for the average user and even some power users. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you found it helpful, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future. If you have any questions related to these products, you can leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.